More updates today on the Winger Smith stuff, including suspensions, Winchester's video policy, plus we have a ton more rainouts coming, Cale Thomas finds a ride, and why you shouldn't sleep on the USAC Sprint Car Series this season. Let's go. It's Thursday, March 16th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is Dirt Tracker Daily. So while I was waiting for my Wednesday show to upload to YouTube yesterday, the Southern All-Stars Late Model Series did announce penalties for both J.R. Smith and Ashton Winger. I mentioned yesterday that we hadn't heard about any penalties yet, so of course they would announce them while I was uploading. Winger has been suspended from the series for 60 days with zero-tolerance probation due to a crew member using a weapon in a physical altercation. This is in regard to his dad, Gary, supposedly going after Smith with a hammer. And for his actions, J.R. Smith has been suspended from the series indefinitely. The series release says, quote, "The driver struck the 12 machine repeatedly under caution. He failed to comply with our race director, who repeatedly told him to leave the track. He was disqualified from the event. Requirements for reinstatement will be discussed with J.R. privately, and once the requirements and stipulations are met, the suspension will be lifted," unquote. Series also stated they will not tolerate behavior like this at their events. And on top of that, Southern Raceway's promoter Tom Lowry told Outside Groove that anyone who uses a weapon in an altercation at the racetrack will be banned for life. This follows both this incident and one a few weeks ago where a shovel was used to attack someone at an event there as well. Not a great run of races here for Southern. Both instances at Southern have led to arrests, as the track does have sheriff's deputies on hand at each race. I think the whole community right now can look at the events over the past several weeks as a bit of a wake-up call. I think we're all entirely way too on edge at the moment, and none of this is worth going to jail over. Racing's supposed to be fun, let's not forget. It's supposed to be an escape, a chance to be entertained, see drivers perform incredible feats. Nobody ever has had a problem with a little bit of bumping, a spin here and there, maybe a shouting match in the pit area, a little pushing and shoving, but we absolutely do not need things to continue to devolve to the point they did this last weekend. Hopefully going forward, we'll see the action on track stay good while tempers simmer down just a little bit. One other update for you today, this one involving the situation at Winchester Speedway in Virginia and their video policy. We talked about this yesterday as well. They issued a clarification yesterday to their original post banning video from race days at the track. They're now saying live video feeds are prohibited, which includes on-track racing. The ban does not include non-racing footage from the pit area, whether live or recorded. Sounds like they had lots of questions from teams and fans and needed to make an adjustment here. You can see their full post over on their Facebook page. A lot of you in the comments yesterday about this one and the situation just kind of overall at Winchester. Sounds like a lot of you guys head to that one pretty regularly. The cold and wet start to 2023 continues to affect dirt races around the country, and the cancellations just keep on pouring in. High Limit has already canceled their season opener. That was set to take place next Tuesday, March 21st. And then on the heels of that, the Tulare Thunderbolt also sacked the following Saturday night of racing that was supposed to feature USAC CRA sprint cars and Wing 360s. So both March 21st and March 25th at Tulare are off. The ASCS canceled their opening weekend yesterday as well, with rain and cold temperatures forecasted for the weekend around Devil's Bowl Speedway. They'll try again in a few weeks at Jackson Motor Speedway. Bakersfield Speedway in California has also canceled their March 18th program because of wet weather. And the World of Outlaws sprint cars are scheduled for Williams Grove on Friday and Lincoln on Saturday. And that Saturday start time at Lincoln has been moved up to 5 p.m. because of chilly temperatures on tap there. So like I keep saying, pay attention in the coming days as the schedule changes are coming in hot and heavy. In some sprint car and driver news from yesterday, Demi and Ridzik Racing announced they will have Cale Thomas back in the seat of their black and orange number 49 sprint cars this season. They're planning a pick-and-choose schedule, which will most likely include racing around Ohio, plus appearances with the big series like the Outlaws, All-Stars, and I'm assuming High Limit. Thomas made scattered starts with the Outlaws and All-Stars a season ago, picking up an Outlaw Top 10 at Atomic and All-Star Top 5s at Atomic and Wayne County. Thomas is a past All-Star feature winner as well. That was back in 2018. The announcement said they should have a schedule out soon, so I'm sure you'll see these guys at a lot of races. This is a car we've seen out plenty before in the past, so I'm sure we'll see them a lot again this season. If you didn't happen to tune into the show on Dervision last night from Millbridge, find your way over there today and at least check out the non-wing micro feature. Big Sliderfest in that one, especially late. really good racing between guys like Brent Cruz and Sheldon Creed. Millbridge continues to produce some bangers on Tuesday and Wednesday nights. If you are a Dirt Vision subscriber, I would definitely check these races out. Finally today, I've got a couple of interesting stat thoughts for you. Now that the season is starting to get rolling again, the analytics section at dirttracker.com will be a place I spend plenty of time because it helps illustrate what we are seeing on track on a week-to-week basis. One of the premium stats that's available with a subscription to Dirt Tracker Plus is current possible top 10 streaks. And looking around this morning, the longest current active top 10 streak in the country is owned by Brady Bacon. He's got 17 straight with the USAC National Sprint Cars. That obviously goes back into the 2022 season. And if you might remember from a season ago, Bacon fell short of the series championship by 51 points, with Justin Grant taking down his first ever title. What's interesting, though, as I looked back over the 2022 season for Bacon, his championship chances were basically undone right out of the gate. JG opened the year at Bubba Raceway Park with runs of 6th, 4th, and a victory in between, while the Macho Man was outside the top 10 on nights 1 and 2, bouncing back to 5th on night 3. And then he spent the rest of the year chasing and was never able to make up the difference. Later on in the season, in the other 36 races, he was outside the top 10 on just 4 other occasions, with 2 of those being 11th place finishes. Also of note, in Bacon's 9 most recent trips to Bubba, that 15th and 16th place finishes to start 2022, they're huge outliers. His other 7 finishes there include 3 wins, 2 seconds, a 4th, and a 5th. That's an average of just under 2.3 for average finish. If somehow those 2 tough nights, that 15th and 16th, had resulted in usual top 5 runs for Bacon, he probably wins the championship based on where his average finish would have been. And I know that if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas, but I point out all of this for 2 reasons. One, don't sleep on the USAC Sprint Cars. This series is very tight all season. The competition is super close. And these guys just, and I've said this before, these guys just don't get enough credit for how good the racing is there. Also, it shows just how important single races can be to a championship. This series had 39 races completed a year ago, and you can basically say that the championship came down to 2 of them. You can see all of these numbers for yourself over at dirttracker.com/analytics. There are 3 shows available today across the streaming services. Overnight, there's Racing from Top of the South, Speedway Down Under. There's also Flow Racing 24/7 and Dirt Vision Now happening all day. To see the full daily streaming schedule with links to watch, visit dirttracker.com/watch tonight. Don't forget, if you guys want to grab some merch, you can do that over at shop.dirttracker.com. Support what I am doing. I've got hats like I'm wearing right here. I've got stickers, sprint cars, I've got late models, and I've got logo ones. Maybe in the future, I've had people say, how come you don't have modified ones? Maybe in the future, we'll do modified ones, or maybe even some stock car ones. I hope you guys have a good Thursday out there. We'll be right back here tomorrow.